So when you think of Virginia Beach, Virginia, one of the things it's most well known for would definitely have to be the beaches the city has to offer. Whether you're looking at the Chesapeake Bay or you're looking along the Atlantic Ocean, what you find right behind me here, the city has so many different beaches to choose from. However, if you're new to the area or possibly just visiting, you might be asking yourself which one will be best for you to take a look at. Well, that's exactly what we're going to discuss in this video, as I'm going to review my top beaches in Virginia Beach, Virginia. In this discussion, we will go over both the positives and the negatives of these beaches so you can decide which one you should check out. And without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so you might have noticed we're no longer on the beach. We're filming this in March. As you can imagine, along the beach, it's a little chilly and a little cold right now. So I thought it'd be best if we finish the rest of this video and I explain the different beaches from inside here in my office. So if you're new to the area or just visiting, before you even got here, I gotta believe you already knew that the beaches were one of the things the city of Virginia Beach is most well known for. The beaches are extremely important to the city. In a recent Virginia Beach Convention and Visitor Bureau's report, it was reported that the economic impact from tourism during the year of 2021 was an astonishing $3.3 billion. And as far as how many people visit the city of Virginia Beach each year, the latest stats I saw were for 2019, and during that year before COVID started, they actually had 19 million people visit and spend the night in the city of Virginia Beach, Virginia. And as you can imagine, most likely the biggest thing drawing those tourists would just be the beaches. The city of Virginia Beach has many different beaches. Each one is different from the other. It really all depends on what type of activities you're planning on doing and deciding which one is best for you that day. Some of the more popular beaches in Virginia Beach, on the north side of the city along the Chesapeake Bay, you have Chicks Beach, sometimes also called Chesapeake Beach. And then moving a little farther east, you have First Landing Beach, which is a part of First Landing State Park. And then as you move even farther east, almost to the Atlantic Ocean, you have Fort Story, which is a military installation, not really known for the beach there. Then moving towards the Atlantic Ocean, you have the North End beaches, which while they're close to the boardwalk, they tend to be a little more quiet than the boardwalk. And then the most popular beach in all of the city would just be the Oceanfront / boardwalk area. And then moving further south from the boardwalk, you have Grommet Island Park. And then continuing south, you have Croatan Beach. And then if you're in the military, you have the Dam Neck Beach in the south. And then the most southern part of the city, you're looking at the beaches of Sandbridge and also Little Island Park. So as you might be realizing now, the city has many different beaches, and you might be asking yourself what sets each one apart. Well, I can tell you I've lived in the area for over 25 years, and I feel like I have a pretty good handle on that. So that's why in this video, we're gonna go over my top 5 beaches in Virginia Beach, Virginia. So the first beach I'm gonna discuss, and it's actually my number 5 beach in Virginia Beach, Virginia, would be Croatan Beach. Croatan area of Virginia Beach is actually one of the more exclusive areas in the city, as there's many beautiful houses right along the beach, and a lot of these owners live here year round. So one of the main reasons this made my list of top beaches would just be the fact that it's much less crowded than other beaches in the area, especially if you're comparing it to the boardwalk. And if you enjoy surfing, this is going to be the beach you go to, as the majority of our local surfing community spends all their time at this beach catching the waves. And as I alluded to earlier, another thing you might like about this beach is just the fact of some of the exclusive houses you get a chance to see that are right along the water. If you like looking at nice houses, there's plenty of them to see here at Croatan Beach. So what are some of the negative things about this beach? Well, I mentioned that it was less crowded, and the reason that is there's really not a lot of parking. The city actually operates a parking lot that's a paid parking lot, but unfortunately, it only has about 500 parking spots, and there really isn't a lot of street parking. So while that's definitely a pro of the beach being less crowded, space is so limited and goes so quick. And then as I mentioned, as one of the pros, it is an area heavily populated with surfers. So if you're not surfing, that could be a con of this beach. You always got to keep an eye out for them, especially if you have younger children, as it can be a little bit dangerous as well. So depending on what you're looking to do, this beach is a great option for you. Okay, so moving right along into my 4th best beach in Virginia Beach, right along to the north side of the city into the Chesapeake Bay area. And that beach would be the beach of Chicks Beach. So one of the things I really like about Chicks Beach, if you have small children, this beach is definitely very kid friendly, as it's along the Chesapeake Bay, so therefore the waves are much smaller than the Atlantic Ocean. They can really enjoy their time at the beach, and you don't have to worry about them having to deal with waves, dealing with so much rip current. Additionally, there's plenty of condos that you can rent along the Chicks Beach area as an Airbnb for the week or just the weekend. So it's a really great place to bring your family and enjoy some time at the beach. beach. As far as the cons for this beach, it's a little similar to Croatan Beach in the fact that it's pretty limited on parking. There are some paid options along the street, especially on the weekends in the summertime. This beach can get very crowded, so that's unfortunately one of the cons of this area. But overall, if you have small children or you just want to bring your family to the beach, Chicks Beach is a great option for that, as you can really enjoy your time here at this beach. Okay, so my third beach is actually a beach I have a lot of fond memories of growing up as a child, and that would be a beach that's a little south of the boardwalk, and that would be a military-only beach of Dam Neck. My mother used to take my brother and I to this beach growing up, and we spent plenty of weekends throughout the summer at this beach and had an incredible time. As far as some of the pros for this location here, thinking of the family, there are lifeguards on duty, so if you have small children, you can feel safe knowing that they are in the water with lifeguards watching over them. At Dam Neck, there are plenty of facilities for the bathroom and showers, and actually in the summertime, they actually do run some food trucks and snack bars, so you do have the opportunity to get some refreshments. Additionally, as far as parking goes, while it's not a ton of parking, there is an adequate amount of parking, and it is actually free parking. But again, this is for the military only and their families and retirees. If there are any cons to Dam Neck Beach, I guess one con would be that it is on a military base. If you work on that base, you might want to get off of it when you're not working, and unfortunately you have to go back on the base to enjoy the beach with your family. In the summertime, similar to most beaches in Virginia Beach, it can get crowded very quick, so you got to make sure you get there early in the morning. But I can't say enough great things about this beach, as I have a lot of fond memories growing up when my mother would take me and my brother there, and we spent many Saturdays and Sundays at the beach at Dam Neck. All right, so I hope you're enjoying my video so far. Hopefully you found out some new beaches you might have a chance to check out. If you are getting any value out of this video, I'd really appreciate it if you just hit that like button below. That way I can get this video out to as many people as possible. If you're thinking about possibly making a move into Virginia Beach and you want to see if it's right for you, check out this video I did right here on the pros and cons of living in Virginia Beach. And lastly, real quick, I'm a realtor here in Hampton Roads. If you are considering making that move, I would love to help you find your home. My contact information is right next to me. Put it in the description below. Can't wait to hear from you. So let's go ahead and move on. Okay, so my number 2 favorite beach in the Virginia Beach area is definitely the most popular beach, and that would just be the overall Oceanfront and Boardwalk area. This area here is actually where you're going to find the majority of the tourists who visit our city, and also you're going to find the majority of the hotels in Virginia Beach reside on the Oceanfront area of Virginia Beach. When you hear people say, hey, I'm going to visit Virginia Beach, most likely they're going to be heading into the Oceanfront and Boardwalk area. One of the first pros for me is just the amount of activities you're able to do. This is an area that's heavily populated by tourists, so therefore you're going to have a lot of family activities, whether you're looking to not only enjoy the beach, but also take in some putt-putt golf. There is some smaller amusement parks in the area and plenty of amenities when it comes to food and restaurants as well. So similar to Dam Neck, there are plenty of lifeguards on this beach. That way you can feel comfortable knowing your family should be relatively safe as they're enjoying their time outdoors. Overall, there is quite a bit of parking. However, as with any beach on Saturday and Sunday, parking can get limited, and there are some actual parking garages right along the boardwalk as well to park in. One of the cons of that, however, is you are going to pay to park at the boardwalk area. In addition to the paid parking, one of the major cons for me, and honestly one of the reasons why most locals, and myself included, kind of avoid the area overall, is just the fact that this area is very crowded. It's not only just on Saturday and Sunday, but throughout the week, from Memorial Day all the way to Labor Day. Most people visiting the area are heading down to the boardwalk, and therefore this area gets very crowded. Traffic can be pretty tough, so that's something you got to think of. If you're just visiting the area, most likely this is the beach you're going to go to, just based on all the great amenities around the city and just the awesome boardwalk and beach that you get to enjoy with your family. Okay, so this next beach is actually my favorite beach. It's one my family and I frequent throughout the summer. Usually we're there at least twice a week, sometimes even more than that. And that would be in the southern part of the city, and that is where all the locals go. And that would be the beach of Sandbridge, including Little Island Park. So Sandbridge itself is actually where there's a lot of beach houses that are rented week by week throughout the summertime and actually throughout the year. Farther south is the Little Island Park, which is another great place to head if you're going to Sandbridge. As far as the pros for this area, if you're just visiting in the area, there are plenty of beach houses in Sandbridge where you can rent. A lot of the beaches I've already mentioned, I talked about parking and how a lot of them are paid parking. Well, within Sandbridge, parking is pretty limited as it's mostly just the beach houses themselves and then along the streets unless you're going to Little Island Park. So that's a pro for me in the fact that it makes it so the beaches are much less crowded than other beaches throughout the city. However, if you do have a family, while some people might think this is a pro, not all the beaches along Sandbridge are being watched by lifeguards. So that's something you got to consider. Depending on where you are in Sandbridge, there are lifeguards, but not across the whole beach. And then if you are visiting the Little Island part, which is far south as you can possibly go in Sandbridge, there are some facilities there and actually picnic areas and parks. So that's a nice place to check out. If there is actually any cons for this beach, we're talking about Little Island Park. In the summertime, you will have to pay to park, and on the weekend especially, it gets very busy and parking can be somewhat limited in that area. Another thing that's kind of be a problem is there are no restrooms unless you are renting a beach house, and there are no facilities at all for showers. Some of the beach access does have places where you can wash your feet off, but as far as showers and restrooms, those are nowhere to be found along the street parking. But really, if you're just looking to have a great time at the beach with you and your family, Sandbridge is definitely where it's at. It's not very crowded. If you get there early enough in the day, even on Saturday and Sunday, you can usually find a parking spot and just have an incredible time on the Atlantic Ocean with your friends and family. I can't talk about it enough. In the summertime, my family are usually there at least twice a week. Sometimes we just go in the evening time when we get off work just to have a good time. If you live in Virginia Beach, Sandbridge is definitely one of the beaches you're going to attend. And as I've said a few times here, Virginia Beach has a lot of great things to offer. However, if you're still on the fence, take a look at this video right here, and I'm gonna go over the pros and cons of living in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And until the next time, I hope you have a great day. We will see you on the next video.